everybody. We're live. We're live. We're live on Periscope. And we're live on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. I forgot to get Anchor. 1 second. Let me get my Anchor. Let me get my podcasting phone. Where did I leave it? All right. Got it. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Hey, Joe. Hey, Diacritical. Hello from New Jersey. All right. Yes, we're all having crises. I'm actually having a crisis right now, and that is that I'm cold. I'm having a crisis of being cold. All right. We're recording on Anchor. Hello, Anchor. And we're sending this podcast audio. Hey, Nacho. Nacho is here so we can start stream on your phone. You can listen on an app. You can listen on Spotify, Google Play, and all these other all these other podcasting apps that I don't remember the names of. You can also download the audio to your phone or your laptop from a link that Joe Anderson responds to he replies it in a tweet to my live stream, my Periscope stream, so you can see that. All right? All right. Yes, I'm having a crisis of being cold. Okay. All right. My crisis is that I need money now. I need you to all give me money. Send me cash. Well, there are a few things that makes millennials have crisis. I think that obviously it's not just millennials. Probably boomers are like the most troubled and they don't realize it. Like, everyone's always like millennials have it bad. Boomers are always like, you millennials are always complaining. You think it's bad, blah, 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 blah. But there is a reason why they say that. There is a reason why boomers are always trashing on millennials. You know why? Because boomers will not admit that they're troubled. And subconsciously, they're like, look, that's not fair that people are giving these millennials attention for being troubled. I'm troubled. No one's giving me attention. But see, they have problems communicating that because they're not as emotionally connected, because they were not as emotionally taken care of, because boomers were taught their entire life to just suck it up, do what they need to do, and, no feelings. Feelings are for babies. Feelings are petty. You're being immature child. Well, guess what? Everybody has feelings. Some of us are going to talk about it and confront it, and that's how we deal with it. Others of us are going to stick it under the rug and pretend like we don't have it. But guess what? It's still there, and it's still running your life. Just because you choose to ignore your feelings, it doesn't mean that it's not ruining your life, that it's not running your life or ruining your life, whatever. T. Jones says, Gen X here, riddled with issues. I'm sorry to hear that. Guys, I had so little sleep last night. It's crazy. I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna post this YouTube link so that people can see it on YouTube, because YouTube is way cooler. Where's my link? We're live, betches. See, I don't like to say the B word, so I just say BETCH. Joe says we all need more sleep. You know what? Sleep is a big part of why we're all so Sleep is a big part. Sleep is a big part of why we're all so freaking messed up. Every year has every generation has had problems in their early adulthood. By the way, every generation has had problems in their early adulthood, but millennials, according to studies, have it worse than their previous generations had at their age. All right. So, okay. For the record, okay, I had a very comfortable sleep. It was just short because I was working. Okay. Hormones and insecurities. I don't know, man. Previous generations had hormones too, probably more than us, right? Previous generations had hormones. So, all right. Griff is asking if I'm still nomadic. As you can see, I'm in a different place. I'm constantly in a different place. And by the way, I'm going to be in a different place, probably either tomorrow night or the night after that. So yeah, just FYI, right now I'm at a dear friend's place, a dear friend who is the most amazing person I've met since I've moved here to DC. Washington DC is so transient. Washington DC is like a perfect example of Washington DC is a perfect demonstration of why people are so screwed up. So if you meet people in DC who are not screwed up or who make you less screwed up, then that's pretty golden. All right. Someone is posting a language that I don't understand. But, okay, so I'm having a millennial life crisis. I wanted to say I'm having a midlife crisis, but whatever. I just feel like I'd be competing with people in their 50s, so I don't want to do that. So anyway, I'm just going to say millennial life crisis because I'm in my 20s. And I know a lot of people are in the same situation as me. I know a lot of other people are in the same boat as me. And people are always like, Pardes, why are you always posting about why are you always posting about this and that personal details about yourself? People are going to think you're messed up. Pardes, why should people know that you're having a bad day? People are going to think something is wrong with you. All right. Have a good night, Joe. Thanks for being here on your break. That's really cool. Have a good night. And see you later. See you later. Everyone, send hugs to Joe and wish him luck. Wish him luck at work. Because the live stream is a little bit less exciting without Joe around. Just saying. Anyway, yeah. So people are always like, Pardes, why do you need to give every detail about your feelings? And it's kind of embarrassing. People are gonna look at you and be like, wow, she's really messed up, and she's she's having problems with this and that, and she's she's having problems, with her jobs, and she's having problems with her, I don't know, relationships, or people will be like, yeah, why are you always talking about your personal life? Well, here's why. Because I know for a fact that people aren't really thinking that. They'll say it to make themselves feel better, but they aren't really thinking that. Because really, I know for a fact, because people come to me and tell me about their problems. I know for a fact that there's so many people my age who are having the same issues, and older people in their late 20s, people in their 30s, people in their early to mid 20s, all through their 20s. Everybody is having these problems. Hey, I am Brandbaum. First time watching me live. Welcome to our live stream. I hope I don't scare you away. Boo! Hope I don't scare you away. Azzy Cruz says, social media has done a lot to cause millennials a lot of emotional distress. I agree with you. And I will tell you why. I know for a fact that this is not an individual problem. I know for a fact that there's nothing flawed with me. Hey, okay. I know who that is. What up, what up, what up? Okay. I know for a fact that this is not a flaw with me. And I know for a fact that even if people say like, oh, well, that's not my thing, and that person is messed up because she's having this issue this day or this month or whatever, even if people are saying that, they don't mean it, because everybody goes through these problems. Everybody, millennials particularly, because millennials right now are the most screwed up generation, and there are studies to back it up. And you're not alone. Millennials are being the hardest hit by opioid crisis. Millennials are the loneliest generation. Millennials are the poorest generation. Millennials are even worse off than boomers, and that's saying a lot, because boomers are really screwed up. So, yeah, no, we're not alone. It's not just me. It's not just you. It's everybody. It's most people. And most people that I talk to, like most of my friends who are going through certain issues, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is literally my problem. This is, and even like younger, even like Gen Zers, like I'll talk to some Gen Zers and they'll, they're just like a few years younger than me, actually just 2 years younger than me. And they'll have like the same issues, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, oh my God, this is the issue that I'm having, or the issue that I had last year or 2 years ago. And it makes me feel a little better. It doesn't make me feel good that other people are suffering, but it just makes me feel a little better knowing that other people are going through the same things and it's not a problem with you. So what if people talked about it more? But they won't talk about it more. And here's why. Because we're conditioned to not talk about it. We're conditioned to show the world and try to prove to the world that we are so comfortable and everything about our lives is perfect, and that we are just excelling at everything. We're so conditioned to not show the world that we have problems. We're so socially conditioned to just, because we're also very lonely. We're also very lonely because, like, the internet is basically just like, the internet has just screwed us over in so many ways, even though it has also helped us in so many ways. Like, because of the internet and social media, we can have this live stream and we can sit and talk and, like, You're literally just, it's like we're sitting in a living room and we're talking. And that's pretty freaking cool. So that's thanks to the internet and thanks to social media. But there are also problems. By the way, like, people will be like, yeah, Pardes, you need to step away from social media. It's causing you all these problems. You need to step away. You need to, like, go and, live life and enjoy yourself. And, or they'll be like, they'll be like, Pardes, this isn't helping with your brand. You saying this personal thing about yourself, your flaws, your feelings, you saying this stuff, it's not good for your brand. It's not gonna get you viewers. This isn't helping. This isn't helping with your brand. This isn't gonna. I need this. Like, I want to be here. There's no like motivation for me to be here. I'm here because this is helping me. Like, this is like what I look forward to. Okay? And I know that this is what a lot of people look forward to. Maybe this live stream or another live stream. I watch live streams a lot. I'm one of these people who does watch a lot of live streams. And the reason for wanting to watch live streams is because if I'm not gonna be around other people consistently, at least live streams are consistent. Like, not like just 1 or 2 live streams. Like, at least I can go online at any time of the day and watch a live stream. You go on YouTube, all you have to do is, like, YouTube has like this kind of like this subscriber thing where you can subscribe to, like, basically you can just see what's going on live at that time of the day, and there's like a ton of accounts that are going live at any moment, and you can just, at any time of the day, you can just step into a live room online and see what's going on. And a lot of people will be consistent. I mean, I have this every weeknight. A lot of people do that where they'll have a live stream every night or every other night, and it's like you're basically having like the same friends, and you get to go and like interact with them live instead of just watching a movie where you'll never connect with any of those people and you're literally just all by yourself staring at a box. Instead of like watching TV where absolutely everything is scripted and is just showing you, is just like made to make you think that it's real, but it's totally fake. And all these people are like, wearing things that you will never probably wear in your lifetime, Alex says this is one of his top 3, and I am very honored. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. That makes me feel very honored. Yes. What was I saying? You just distracted me with your goodness. But, yeah. So that's why I watch live streams. And, like, I'll take a break from this when I need to. And there are nights when, like, I'm too sick or too, like I'm too sick or whatever and I'm not up to it, and I'll be like, guys, or I'm traveling and I'll be like, guys, I can't do a live stream tonight. And there are nights when I'll do that. It's not like it's like do or die, but I don't need a break from this. This is like brushing my teeth. If I don't do it, I feel kind of gross. I need it. It's like therapy. This is literally like it's like meditating in the morning. Like, because people think that I do these live streams and I benefit from it in some way, like, you know, I'm getting monetized, I'm getting ads, I'm getting super chats or whatever. This is somehow like a career thing or whatever. So people think that this is like work. It's not work for me. The benefits came afterwards. But I would be doing this no matter what, because this is not work for me. This is literally like, it's like meditating. It's like when you wake up in the morning, does anyone tell you like you need to take a break from meditating? No, they don't. They don't say you need to take a break from meditating. That's what this is for me. This is literally like waking up in the morning and meditating. The only reason that I've been really stressed out from Twitter lately is because there's just so much toxic energy and it has been driving me crazy, and I feel like I've been so much more thin-skinned lately. Like, just in my personal life, I just felt like I was around a lot of toxic energy, and a lot of it was, you know, around just very political groups, people who, like, it's hard, like, people who, and that's really all what I want, and it seems like for a lot of people that's not valued as much. And our culture is so into like relationships, blah blah blah. What is a relationship? A relationship is a relationship between two human beings. It's not like, oh, now we're boyfriend and girlfriend, so this is a relationship. No. If you can't have a relationship, if you can't connect with somebody who's just another human being on a personal level and form an actual relationship with them that isn't just based on some physical or biological reaction, then that's not a relationship. Then you cannot have, then you don't know what a relationship is. Like, we're so conditioned to just be like, we're so conditioned to think of relationships as like just, you know, something that boyfriend and girlfriends have. If you can't have a normal relationship with somebody, and people don't get that, and we don't value it as much. Our generation does not value it as much. Personally, I do not want to be in a relationship with somebody that I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that I wouldn't be friends with. Like, and people are like, you know, why are you, you know, guys are so scared of being in the friend zone. It's crazy. Like, they will do anything to not be your friend, because they think that if they're your friend, then that means that like you will never date them. I don't know about other people, but personally, I will not date somebody that I can't be friends with. I would much rather date somebody that I'm already friends with, or that I could see myself being friends with. So, because to me, friendship comes first. Friendship and real relationships come first. And that's something that we're lacking. So, people are saying that it's the internet. The internet is what's causing millennials to be the most screwed up generation, the poorest, and all that stuff. I think it all just comes down to feelings of inadequacy. We are the generation that experienced, like, we were like there during the internet revolution. Diacritical says no real relationship without friendship. That's true. Relationship is literally just like friends with benefits. Not even friends. I mean, it's literally just like, I don't know, let's hook up, and I don't know. Adrian David says, I don't know, man. I don't think guys and girls can be friends. Look, if you can't have a conversation with someone and feel connected to them as though they were your friend, why would you want to spend time with them? Just for sex? I mean, you can get a hooker. You can get like, I don't know, pay for a prostitute. Get like a sugar baby. Don't get a partner. Get like be a sugar daddy. You know? Like, you can do that. Murdered Out says, it looks like you drank 400 cups of coffee. Okay. Yeah, I did have a bunch of caffeine today. Yeah. Yeah, the whole idea that men and women can't be friends, that's a total myth. I used to think that way too, but then I realized that I was dating people and still feeling lonely. Why should you feel lonely when you're in a relationship with somebody? Because it's not a real relationship. Why should you feel lonely if you're dating somebody? Shouldn't they be the closest person to you? Shouldn't that relationship be the most intimate relationship? Shouldn't that relationship be the most intimate relationship ever? Yeah, if you can't have that close bond with somebody, then it's not worth it. Adrian says, I have a long-term girlfriend, love her, wouldn't want to be her friend, because then what? I gotta watch her be with another guy. Well, that would suck, but that doesn't mean that you are not friends that you are not friends with your girlfriend. It means that you just be jealous and it would hurt you, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that the friendship itself would not be possible. And by the way, like, she's your girlfriend. Obviously, you're gonna be jealous of if she's with another guy. Like, obviously, you're not even jealous. It's like, obviously, you don't want her to be with another guy because she's your girlfriend, right? Rosemary says, people who need people are the best. Yeah, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm constantly feeling lonely, especially, well, I'm not constantly feeling lonely. I'll tell you when I'm feeling lonely. I'm constantly feeling lonely in big cities. So if I'm in like a city like Washington, D.C., New York City is the worst. New York is the absolute worst. Rosemary says, Scott Adams' rule on making friends. Give more without expectations. Good. Yeah, I like that. A true friend is not in it to benefit something. A true friend is there to be a friend to somebody. Another thing that was realized according to studies, which is making millennials less happy with their lives, is that there's less charity work happening among millennials. There's less volunteer work happening. We're not volunteering as much as the previous relationships used to because we're so preoccupied with trying to get a job and, trying to fend for ourselves and figure out our own shit that we aren't getting involved in charity work as much as other generations did. And that really contributes to people's mental health problems. I actually have not volunteered in ages. Like, the last time I volunteered was like I don't know. Well, actually in college, which wasn't so long ago. But it's been years. It's been years since I volunteered. So, yeah. I'm thinking I should volunteer again, maybe in a hospital or something, because I used to volunteer at a hospital and be around a lot of terminally ill people and uh, really value my life a little more and made some real connections. Because when people are on their deathbed, or maybe not even on their deathbed, but like in a bed that they know that they're going to be in for a very long time, when people are at that stage in life, they're not like trying to impress you with anything. They have like nothing to lose. They're like the most real you can get. Those are the kind of people that you can make like a real connection with. Those are the focus on the petty things, like, trying to impress people. So actually, volunteering at a hospital would actually be pretty good. I used to also volunteer at in a nursing home. Pardes says, I love old people. Yeah, old people are the best, because old people, same thing with old people. Like, I used to volunteer at a nursing home, and, well, some people were just straight up awful. They were just like always angry and mean to everybody. But even those people, it was just like, even those people, you kind of, they made you value your own life, and that's really important. Going and seeing other people's lives and putting things into perspective, and knowing how much value we have in our lives and how much we can accomplish. All right. So, why do people get lonely? Millennials are super lonely. Why are we super lonely? Okay, first of all, young adults are always going to be lonelier, right? Because we're in the stage of life where, like, we left our families, we went to go and like have careers and figure out ourselves in the world or whatever. So we left our families, so we're not with family anymore. So we left our families to go and live alone in the world, but we're not yet married. So we're kind of like just little lone boats. Dove says we have no purpose. Yeah, I mean, we're literally just like floating in air. We're not committed to anybody or anything. So we're just like floating around trying to pursue a career, but we're so desperately lonely that it's affecting our ability to pursue a career in an effective way. It's just that much harder for us. So people in their, usually people in their like 30s or whatever start to get married and start to have, Dove says, disclaimer, I'm married with 3 kids. Dove gets it. Dove is on the other side, so he gets it. He knows what it takes. He knows what it takes to get to the other side and to be, and what it's like once you are in a relationship. Because I know a lot of people on this live stream are not in a relationship. We've got both. We've got both. All right. So Dove is 27 and is married with 3 kids. Wow. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah, like, I feel like I'm so immature. Like, I'm 26, and my mom had, how many kids did she have by the time she was my age? My mom had, like, 3 kids and I believe she was pregnant on her 4th kid by the time she was my age. 3 kids, pregnant on my brother. So, like, I feel so immature. Like, I can't imagine having a baby right now. I don't know. Like, the baby, I would just really feel bad for the baby. I would feel bad for the baby that came out of me now, if I had it now. Yeah. So, anyway. So, that's like a big thing. That's a big thing. Being in a stage of life where you're in between that. You're basically not with family. You're not with your own family. You're not with your parents and siblings, and you're not with the new people. You're not with the family that you built. So you're basically just a loser. Alex says my grandfather had close to 7 kids. 7 kids by the time he was my age. Jacob says half of poor millennials wouldn't feel so career hopeless if the government hadn't conned them with guaranteed school student loans. Diacritical says mine had 4 by the time she was 24 and had a husband gone in the military. Grew up fast. Wow. That is very quick. That is really young. And traumatic. I know people, I can't imagine. I can't imagine being 24 with 4 kids and having a husband lost in the military, at 24. Wally says, have a family, then you'll have no time for problems. Well, it's all about having a purpose in life, right? When you have life problems, you have a purpose. And your purpose, these problems that our generation is having, and it's more than other generations. It's not just that we're young adults and this is problems that young adults have. The problems that we're having they're worse problems than any other generation before us. And they really come from a sense of inadequacy. It really comes from a sense of feeling less than. So people who deal with real life problems like death and sickness and war and whatever, those people are fighting. They're focused on a purpose, they're focused on a goal, and having that goal or purpose, it makes it, even if it's the worst thing in the world, it makes you feel whole, right? Millennials are not necessarily dealing with that. Millennials are dealing with a totally different animal, and that is feelings of inadequacy, which actually takes it makes you not motivated to deal with anything. Why are so many people submitting themselves to drugs? Why is the heroin problem so deep among millennials? Why are millennials the worst hit by heroin addiction? So we're basically expected to see everybody. First of all, living in a big city has the same effect. Living in a big city or around a lot of people, you see you're basically surrounded by a ton of people made to believe that they're all normal and they're all living great lives and they all got their shit together. And then and you also constantly feel FOMO, you have to be in on that, right? But you don't necessarily. And when you're not in that environment, for me, when I'm out of town and if I'm in a place where I'm around so few people, or really not maybe 1 or 2 people, I'm out of town and totally out of everything. An example is when I was in Iceland or some other place where I was recently somewhere where I only saw one person and maybe a few other people, a cashier at a shop, at a convenience market, for a week straight. And oddly enough, I did not feel lonely, not even for a minute. It was just so strange. And it wasn't even someone that I was super close to or anything, anything like that. It's literally just I was in a place, I had left. I was in a place where I just wasn't around people. And oddly enough, I felt less lonely. Because being around so many people is not going to make you less lonely. It's just going to make you think that you're running a race and you have to be as good as this person or that person or whatever, and it makes you feel inadequate and disconnected from everybody else because you don't want to talk about your problems. You don't want to share it with anybody else because you just feel ashamed. D. Loman says, why do you keep saying like? Guys, that's not fair. You can't tell me to stop saying like. This is my second nature. Dove says boomers were able to afford a house and a second secret family too. Haha. All right. So social media does that. Social media makes that possible, even if you're not in a big city around a lot of people. Social media has made it so that even if you are in a small town around not a lot of people, even if you're in a small town where you should feel less lonely and not around a lot of people, you're on social media and you see all the excitement and all the buzz happening somewhere else, and it basically brings the loneliness to you. It makes you see all these other people and all these other places that look like exciting, more exciting than your life, and you start to think that there's something wrong with you or there's something wrong with your life. You start to feel isolated. So social media is making that a possibility. Why are millennials having it the worst? This is why. Because there's a way to deal with the social media thing. Social media is the problem, but it's also the solution. Okay? Generation Z has figured that out. This is a huge difference between millennials and Generation Z. Millennials will go on social media. They'll post. Millennials will only engage in the problem, but not in the solution, because millennials have not embraced that social media has a lot of benefits. Generation Z has embraced it because Gen Z grew up with social media being like the only thing they know. So Gen Z has figured out a way around it. They figured out how to deal with the problem of social media by using the solution of social media. Oliver says Gen Z aren't doing great either, though. They're not, but I have a lot of optimism in Gen Z, all right? Like, I think Gen Z has a lot. There's a lot we can learn from Gen Z, and I think Gen Z is actually providing a lot of solutions for the social media problem. And this is the difference between Gen Z. This is the difference between millennials and Gen Zers when it comes to social media. Millennials will everything, and Gen Zers do it too, but Gen Zers are a little more open about themselves. In my experience. So millennials will go on social media, they will only post they're a lot more guarded. The older generations are just always going to be more guarded on social media. So social media is going to affect the older generations the worst. And the younger generations are just going to use social media as a tool for finding relationships and meeting people and becoming less lonely, essentially. And so there are ways to use social media as to your benefit. I think social media would be a better place if people were a little bit less guarded. And, like, employers, sure, your employer right now being, oh no, this live stream might end. I'm just warning you. This live stream might it might knock out because yeah. Yeah. All right. It's cutting out on your end. The live stream might end. If it does end, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's where a lot of exciting things are happening. I hope you saw my video earlier today. I hope you saw my video on Prism, the app that I use to do my live streams. So if you're ever thinking of like doing your own live stream and doing this kind of thing, I benefit from it a lot. So if you're thinking ever of doing it, I definitely recommend it. I like it. But so if you're like me, you'll like it. If you're like more guarded, you won't like it. Maybe you won't want to do live streams. But I'm not saying that you should be on social media. I'm just saying that if social media is bringing you problems, maybe you could also try and turn those problems into tools, right? Like, try and not let social media only be a problem in your life. Take the good things out of it too. I think the younger generations, I think Gen Zers, when I see a lot of Gen Zers on social media, they're being a little bit more open about who they are. They're being more open about, like, their real problems. There's this girl, Taylor Nicole Dean. She's just one example. There's so many. But there's this one girl who, she's, like, super, she's a YouTuber. She's, like, super open about everything. And people like her, and then people are constantly slamming her, like, why are you talking about your relationship problems on social media? Why are you talking about your drug addiction on social media? Like, why are you talking about this, whatever? And honestly though, I think people like her are doing great service to other people her age, because people in their other people in their 20s, because ultimately millennials have to know that you're not alone. And there's so many people who are going through the same exact things that you're going through. AJ Words says, what do you consider Gen Z? For instance, I think I'm Gen Y. I was born in 86. I don't know. Gen Z is like people born around like 2000, right? No. Gen Z is people who are born around like 19. Like, I was Googling it. Gen Z is like between the age of 4 through 24. That's what I found when I Googled it. So I'm 26, so I'm considered a millennial. All right. So yeah, that's what it is. We're almost at an hour. Lack of family, plus social media, plus not really valuing relationships. Plus, we were left with this economic crisis thanks to boomers, who are also pretty screw up generation, no offense. I feel like the reason why I have so few boomer followers is that I'm constantly like, I feel bad because everyone's constantly like trashing boomers, and it became like such a normal thing to do. Everyone is constantly trashing boomers. Dove says 24 isn't really Gen Z. Yeah, maybe like 22, 23. I don't know. Like, I was Googling it just now. It says, I don't know, this website. All right, someone's asking, what about Gen X? Diacritical says, don't rag on the boomers. Okay. All right. Pardes says, I understand that friendship is based on selflessness, and so I don't engage with people because I don't have that much to give. You know, you have a lot to give. You're here in this live stream, and you're giving me a lot. You're communicating with me. You're telling me your thoughts. You're basically connecting, and when you're connecting with someone, you're not necessarily like just benefiting. You're helping people without realizing it. You're helping people have a connection because it's like a two-way thing. If you're connecting with someone, you're not just and oftentimes you don't realize it, but when you reach out to people if you're having problems and you reach out to someone for help, you're essentially helping them without realizing it because you're forming a connection with them. How many times have you had someone in your life that you wanted a connection with, but they just pulled away from you randomly? They just like totally just either ghosted you or disappeared from your life, and you're just like, what's going on? Those people, in many cases, those people had a problem in their life, and because they didn't want to be a burden on anybody else, they don't want to ask for help, so they just like become like secluded and just go in their corner and try to deal with it on their own. So they think that they're like helping you by not getting you caught up in their problems, but essentially they're not helping you. They're actually hurting you. They're hurting you by isolating you. They're hurting you by like abandoning you. So you don't realize it, but connecting with people is helping people. All right. Okay, lots of trolls. TH says, guys don't like talking about problems. All right. Yeah. I don't know. Personally, one thing I learned in life is sometimes being around people who you're not so close, like sometimes spending too much time around people that you're not so close to is gonna make you even lonelier than if you were just alone by yourself. Sometimes you need to just like not necessarily like cut out people in your life, but just in your mind make a list of like a very, very, like very few people that you consider your close friends, and people who make you feel less lonely, and people who are great friends, who are there for you, who like, you know, just like good people, and limit it to like just very few. I mean, I can count those people on my hand, and limit it to those people, and have them as your people. And oddly enough, I mean, it's not oddly because I feel like everybody knows that at this point, but like the fewer people you have in your life, it seems, the less lonely you will be. Oliver says, I'm having issues getting off of YouTube and quitting trolling. Is that a sign of depression? Maybe it's not an issue. Maybe you just have fun on YouTube and trolling. Jesus says, my Lord and Savior Jesus Trump, corgis are my best friends. People are always telling me I should get a pet, and I actually really like animals. Like, I really get along with animals except bugs. I hate bugs. I hate insects. I hate all insects, no matter what it is. Like, the worst things in my life are insects. And yeah, but animals can really help because they're consistent, they're there all the time, they're not going to just abandon you because they got some job somewhere, they're not going to like, you know, move over to like from one friend group to another because there's so many people around to be friends with that you're just like hopping around from one group to another. So animals are great. Someone is saying that I shouldn't come down south because of the bugs. Alex, thank you so much for a super chat. Let's see what the comment was. Good content tonight from my favorite non-cam girl, Pardes. Thank you for acknowledging that I'm not a cam girl. Thank you for acknowledging that I'm not a cam girl. Guys, PayPal is a little bit better because they don't take as much money as YouTube does. But the good thing about YouTube is that I see like I get a notification, right? Like I see it. It's more like I can see it right away. So all right. AJ Edwards says, animals are great, but me, Beagle, Poker is knocking on Heaven's door at 4. I don't know why I just said Heavens. Okay. Farty says, I am a hunger bro. All right. I don't need to be a cam girl. I don't like, girls think that you need to like, girls think that they need to get like, you know, guys want to see them like take off their shirts and whatever. They don't have to. Guys will still look at them even if they don't take off their shirts. So yeah, I'd rather take advantage of that. All right. Okay, guys. You've been amazing. I kind of don't want to leave because then I'll have to, like, be by myself. But, no, but this is great. I definitely recommend if anyone wants to do live streams. Like, you saw my video today about how I do my live streams. If you haven't, go and check it out. It's on my YouTube page. You'll see it right away when you log on to my page. But live streaming is great. It has been really helpful for me, and it's a big reason. It's a big source of like it's a big thing that helps me keep going. I do it every night. It's like I have you guys there every night, and it's like the same people too. Like, we've built a community here on YouTube, especially. We built a community. I see that, like, I see the same people every night. It's not like it's not, like, you know, this big thing where everyone's constantly changing. It's always like a different group of people. It's like we have the same people every night, and that's what makes it really amazing. And that's a big big thing. Like, you don't need a lot of people in your life. You don't need to have, like, constantly changing whatever. You just need a few people, and you need them to just be there for you. Just need them to always be there. So that's great. So that's why this live stream, always going to be there. Warrior Woman. Kelly. I love you too, Kelly. Kelly Campagna is watching this. And Kelly Campagna is really good. She actually has her own show. She's been doing podcasts for a really long time, and she has such a good energy. She has such a pure positive energy. And so everyone go follow Kelly Campagna, Campagna. All right. All right. Okay. Oliver is saying maybe YouTube is not giving you best algorithm. No, YouTube has actually been pretty good. A lot of the people watching this, actually, I think the majority of people watching this came from YouTube. Okay. Yeah, YouTube has been pretty good about it. All right. Good night, Dove. Good night, Oliver. Good night, Biscuits. I don't know who Emily is. Maybe Kelly knows. Kelly knows Emily. Oliver says, actually, YouTube's been okay for you because they recommended you to me, and I still have no idea why. Yeah, that's... You're stuck with me! Okay, guys. Good night, Diacritical. Good night, everybody. Be well! Be well.